Hey, welcome to Craft Central Designs. Look at this very colorful Easter wreath in deep, vibrant colors that I am sharing with you today. Keep in mind that this wreath can be created in any color palette, whether you prefer pastels or vibrant colors. My decor pieces I share with you are always for inspiration and for learning, and how you ultimately customize your wreath is totally up to you and your creativity. Welcome back to my current subscribers, and as well to everyone viewing today. Okay, let's get busy on this very colorful Easter wreath. Let's look at the materials that we need for this wreath. You need a 14-inch wreath frame that I got from Dollar Tree. I'm not showing it to you there, but I used a silver wreath frame. You'll need 6 rolls of that multicolored deco mesh, and as well I had a few pieces of deep purple deco mesh from my stash, equaling, I would say, about a half of a roll. A pile of scrapbook papers, that's what we're going to decorate our egg with. And the wooden Easter egg is from Dollar Tree. I'm going to use a purple paint, which I'm going to dab on polka dots on the Easter egg. That's totally up to you if you want to do that. And I'm using a pair of scissors that cuts in scallop shapes, which is really, really cool to use for this Easter egg. I use a spouncer to put on my polka dots, as you saw there, and of course, there's always ribbon involved when it comes to me. Okay, so we are going to be making a bow for this wreath. And to cut my deco mesh, I use a rotary cutter, or you can use scissors. Pipe cleaners, of course. I have a little chick there, but I'm not sure I'm going to actually use it. Okay. Now, I've seen this deco mesh at every Dollar Tree that I stop in, and I wanted to see what it would look like on a deco mesh wreath. So I'm cutting 12-inch pieces. I believe I used 6 rolls, and I have a little bit of extra purple deco mesh that I had in my deco mesh stash. I wanted to add some accents with a deep purple, and the Dollar Tree deco mesh obviously is thin, and I wasn't sure exactly how much impact it would have on the wreath frame, but I'm going to be finding out. So I'm going to create my bundles, and it's going to be 3 pieces in each bundle. Now, every now and then, I'm going to add a purple piece of deco mesh to a bundle. I'll let you know in the description box exactly how many bundles I included a piece of purple, but otherwise, for all the other pieces, I just use 3 of these multicolored deco mesh pieces. I just roll them up, stick it between my fingers. This Dollar Tree deco mesh is no problem to roll up. It just wants to roll up all on its own, actually. And I secure my bundles, as always, with a pipe cleaner that I cut in half. Nice tight twist there, and that's what we'll be creating our deco mesh wreath with. Okay, and so here it is, and it is vibrant. You can see that I added some of the deep purple. I think that looks pretty for accents. I didn't have enough of that to create all the bundles. I just wanted to try adding that in. So make sure that you disperse it evenly around the wreath if you use an extra color like I did. On the wreath form, I use the 2nd and 3rd wire. I alternate using the 2nd and 3rd wire as I apply my deco mesh. I just push it down in there nice and tight against the wreath wire. Give it a twist in the back. And fill that in nice and snug with deco mesh. We don't want to see any wires through the deco mesh. we're going to be adding a bow with very vibrant colors of ribbon to go with the vibrant colors of this deco mesh wreath. It's very pretty. As I said in my introduction, you can make this as well in pastel colors. And the same thing for the egg. The same thing for the egg. You can use all kinds of pastel scrapbook papers. You do you. And just create it just like you like it. So I'm going with vibrant color scrapbook papers to go with coordinate with the deco mesh. Again, I have my purple paint, a spouncer to make my polka dots. Okay, so we're going to start creating this Easter egg. So I decided that I'm going to be dividing it in 3 sections. So I'm just going to place my egg on a piece of scrapbook paper, decide where I want to make those division lines, and I just draw it out with my pencil. Okay, so now what I'm going to use is I don't know if you've ever tried one of these cutters, but they are absolutely amazing. Anytime I work with scrapbook paper, I use this because you can make the straightest cuts. It has a little ledge there on the bottom where you rest your paper, and it keeps your paper nice and straight, and it's got a cutter. I think I got mine on Amazon, I believe, but they do have these at Hobby Lobby and Michael's, of course, and probably, I'm pretty sure, Walmart as well. So I'm just going to cut out that top piece of the egg there. Sorry, it's a little out of frame there. I was concentrating on cutting my line, and my hand was a little bit out of frame. Okay, so I set that on there, and that is going to be where I'm going to be creating some polka dots. And next, I'm going to create the center section of my Easter egg. I wanted this Easter egg to have lots of pattern and dimension, so I made a little pencil line to create the thickness of that section that I'm going to apply that pink paper. So I drew my line, stick it in my cutter. This thing is wonderful. If you don't have one, it's definitely a good investment. And we give it, cut the paper. And this is going to be our middle section for our egg. Again, there's so many scrapbook papers out there. You could just, it's limitless what you could do with this egg. Now this centerpiece, you can see everything is matching up. I want to be sure I have all of my pieces all prepared well before I get ready to Mod Podge that onto my egg. Now for the bottom piece, I'm going to use a deep purple to go with the deco mesh and the wreath. And so I need to cut that. I have the lines drawn right on the egg, so I know exactly where I need to start my next color or my next section. So I'm just going to use a pencil, make sure I have it exactly right, and trace around that. And cut that out. You could also paint the egg, but I think there's just something really wonderful about scrapbook paper. As you're getting to know me, you know I just love scrapbook paper. So I use it a lot for a lot of different projects. All right, so here we have, there are 3 main colors for our Easter egg. Very colorful, very bright, vibrant. All right, here's those scissors with the scallops. These are awesome. I got these on Amazon and I absolutely love them. So as you cut along your paper, it creates a scalloped edge. I thought this would be especially cute for the egg. I believe they were something like $13 on Amazon. I got them like a year and a half ago, and I've used them quite often on a lot of projects. And so cute. All right, so now it's time for Mod Podge and a sponge applicator, which of course you can get virtually anywhere. Walmart, Dollar Tree, Hobby Lobby, wherever you shop for craft items. Okay, so we're going to apply a nice coat of Mod Podge on the first section. You got your little pencil lines there, so you know exactly where you're going to apply that. I do one section at a time. Not too thin, not too thick, a nice, smooth, even application. And we put our scrapbook paper on to adhere to the egg. And this is going to adhere very well to this wooden Easter egg. Smooth it out with my hand. And we're going to put our bottom piece on next. Oh, it's so pretty. The colors are very deep and very pretty. Okay, same thing as the top. Nice even coat. You pretty much know where you need to apply that Mod Podge because you still have the lines drawn on there from when you created the sections of your egg. And place it edge to edge. Make sure you have it on there nice and straight. Smooth it out. And then we have our last piece. And look how pretty that is with the scalloped edges on those and next to those colors. Now I'm going to tell you something. I made a little bit of an error, I felt. In hindsight, I would have waited to put that centerpiece on and done my polka dots first. So if you want to make this egg and make it in this fashion that I'm making the egg here, I would do your polka dots first before you put that on. That piece right there. If I had it to do over, I would definitely have spounced my polka dots on before I put that pink piece. And I'll explain to you why in just a minute. I had a little pencil line on there that I wanted to get off. And that looks very pretty. Those scissors are the bomb. You have to get a pair of those. Okay, so now I'm going to spounce on my polka dots. And the reason why I say do this first is it enables you to get up as far to the edge of that yellow that you like. And the problem that I had was when I wanted to put my polka dots and space them out, it was a little bit too close to that scalloped edge. And so I ended up having to take a little paintbrush and paint a couple of my polka dots by hand with the paintbrush. And had I not put that pink piece on there, I could have just done all the polka dots with the spouncer. Now see how I wiggle it a little bit? If you want your polka dots to be very solid and perfect around the edges, you may want to take a little paintbrush and touch them up. I did, but there is an appeal also to just having kind of a little spongy, almost messy, little bit messy polka dot, if that makes any sense. Not entirely filled in, just kind of spounced on there. I mean, that can look very cute as well, but I wanted mine to be really smoothly delineated, if you will, the edges. So I did go around with a very tiny paintbrush and just kind of clean up the edges of my polka dots in places that I needed to. But as you can see, this is adding a lot of fun, if you will, to this egg, having those fabulous purple polka dots. See how I bring my polka dots out to the edge? And it's okay to just do a half a polka dot or 2/3 of a polka dot when it's sitting right there on the edge. And there we have, oh my gosh, love it. Now I put a piece of scalloped paper on there with the white polka dots. I don't think I filmed that, but now I'm going to add one more element, which is just a piece of ribbon. And that's a purple ribbon with white polka dots. You see how you can just be so creative with this egg? You can use ribbons and bounce polka dots and scallop your scrapbook paper. And it's just, you can be so creative with this egg. Super fun. All right, so now I'm gathering some ribbon. Now I had this purple ribbon in my ribbon stash, so I thought I would bring it out, but you could find a purple ribbon anywhere if you choose to use these colors and you choose to bring out the purple in this wreath. But I had this beautiful purple ribbon in my ribbon stash, so I decided to use that as my base bow in a mixed ribbon bow that I'm going to be placing on this wreath. I did 3 loops on each side. This is my standard bow that I do with all my projects. Refer to my bow tutorial, how to make a bow, and I also have one, how to make a mixed ribbon bow. And I keep saying this, I realize I sound like a broken record, but if you watch those videos, they're done very slow and methodical, and it's really going to help you to create this type of bow. All right, so I have 3 loops on each side. I keep that nice tight pinch with my index and thumb, my index finger and my thumb right down the middle. And I have a Dollar Tree pipe cleaner. Not really a fan of Dollar Tree pipe cleaners. I must have picked these up for some reason, but they're coming in very handy right now. So they're okay for putting around a bow, but I prefer the Hobby Lobby pipe cleaners. Okay, so this is going to be the base of our bow, and this bow is going to have 3 different ribbons. So I'm going to try and pull all those colors from that multicolored deco mesh and include it as much as possible in the bow. I'm going to add a very cute gingham check with very vibrant yellow color. I believe I got this ribbon on Amazon at some point in time. It's a very hardy ribbon, very sturdy, wired. This is a ribbon that will last forever. I have ordered ribbon on Amazon many times, and I'll tell you, I've never been disappointed. It has some very nice ribbons on Amazon. I'm going to do a 2-loop bow on each side for this gingham check. I'll wrap my pipe cleaner around. This is going to be the second layer of that mixed ribbon bow. So you have the bottom layer, which is the purple, and this is going to go right on top of the purple as our second layer on the mixed ribbon bow. This is going to hold its shape of the bow and be very supportive in the bow because this ribbon is very sturdy. Very pretty as well. Okay, so that, as I said, is going to go right on top of there. Now, layer number 3. I'm going to use a more narrow ribbon. Now, you could do this on a mixed ribbon bow. If I use a more narrow ribbon, I always put it toward the top of the bow. I'm going to be doing a tutorial on all kinds of bows coming up in the near future. And I will explain that more in detail in that tutorial. But I'm going to use this more narrow, very pretty spring ribbon. I believe this was from Hobby Lobby. I'm going to do 3 loops on each side of this bow. And this ribbon is so pretty for this wreath because it picks up the yellow, the purple, and the pink, and it's a very good match. So I'm going to add an extra loop on each side that's going to rest right on top of those 3 loops on each side. So I was just counting that out for you. 3 and 3, and 1 loop on each side sitting right on top of the 3. I'm going to wrap my pipe cleaner around, secure it in the back so my loops will be all connected. Sorry, my hand's a little bit out of frame there. Okay, and I made a loop right down the center of that bow, which I call the button. And I bring my tail through the loop, pull it through, and now I have a loop right in the center of that bow. Again, refer to the tutorials, and you'll understand what I mean by button and a loop down the center. We're going to cut the tails. I angle, of course. You do you if you like to dovetail. And this is layer number 3 to this very colorful bow. I'm going to snip the back of these pipe cleaners off because I'm going to attach all 3 of these together with one single pipe cleaner. So I'm going to press that top layer up against the second layer, which is the gingham. And I'm going to snip that pipe cleaner off in the back because I don't need it anymore. And now I'm going to attach it to this gorgeous purple. I'm going to press that real firm together with my finger and my finger in the back. Press it really, really tight. I'm going to separate the tails evenly on each side, and I'm going to put a pipe cleaner right through that button on the bow, right down the center, or that middle loop, if you will. I call it the button. I'm going to bring my pipe cleaners around the back, give it a twist, and now that bow is all secure. And now I start just shaping my loops a bit. This is very pretty. Super, super, super colorful. Oh my goodness. Look at those flowers on that ribbon. It's so pretty. Okay, this bow I am going to be placing. Okay, so we have the wreath inserted. Notice that it's a little bit deeper on the bottom side I'm pointing out there. I placed the wreath, or the egg, a little bit deeper in the wreath, a little bit deeper in the deco mesh. And then the top sits a little bit higher. It just looks better than placing it completely flat on the wreath. And now I'm going around, and anywhere the deco mesh touches the egg, I'm just placing a little bit of glue, and that will hold it very well. It doesn't take a lot of hot glue to hold that on. It's a very lightweight egg, if you will. Okay, so we're going to place the bow on now. And I place it around 4 to 5 o'clock. I just press my fingers down through the deco mesh to the wreath wire and attach it with those pipe cleaners that are still remaining on the backside of the wreath. And I just trim up the tails. I angle, as you know, I prefer that, but you can dovetail. And then I take the tips of the ribbon where I angled it, cut it off, angled, and I just turn them up a bit. I think that looks cute. And again, I think this bow looks best placed around 4 to 5 o'clock on the wreath. Very pretty. And here we have one last look at the finished wreath. Remember, you can make this wreath in any color combination. If you like what you see on my channel, please subscribe. Okay, until next time, take care.